3 months ago, my dad died in an accident. But last week I found his secret voicemail. He warned me not to trust my own family. Now they're watching my every move, and I fear for my life. 3 months ago, my dad died in what everyone called an accident. A drunk driver, a rainy night, a collision so sudden it killed him instantly. That's what the police said. That's what my family repeated. That's what I forced myself to believe because the alternative was too painful. My dad wasn't just my father, he was my closest friend, the one person who always knew how to pull me back from the edge. Losing him felt like someone had ripped the floor out from under me. But the truth didn't come gently. It came quietly, almost by mistake, the way real nightmares do. It started the day Mom asked me to clean out Dad's workshop. She said she had finally decided she was strong enough to let go of his things. Her voice cracked. She wiped her eyes. She played the grieving widow so convincingly that even I felt guilty doubting her. But as soon as I opened the workshop door, everything felt off. Dad's tools were arranged differently. Boxes were moved. Certain drawers were empty, even though Dad never threw anything away. And then in the corner of a locked metal toolbox, I found it, his old phone, dead and dusty. I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't expecting anything. But when I charged it and saw one single unheard voicemail, time-stamped just 9 minutes before he died, I felt something inside me freeze. I pressed play. What I heard wasn't my dad's usual steady voice, the gentle calm that could settle any storm. His voice was terrified. I could hear his breathing, harsh and uneven. Then he whispered my name like every syllable hurt. "Danny, listen to me. Don't trust them. Don't trust anyone in the house. I messed up. They found out. I don't know what they're planning, but it has something to do with you. If anything happens to me..." A loud crash. Something scraping across the floor, a quiet gasp. Then, barely audible, a whisper drenched in fear, "They're here." And the voicemail ended. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. My entire body went cold. My mind screamed that it wasn't possible, that Dad must have been hallucinating or confused. But my heart had already accepted one terrible truth. He didn't die by accident. When I brought the phone upstairs, I found Mom waiting at the top of the stairs. Not crying, not worried, watching. "What were you doing down there?" she asked, her voice soft but unnaturally controlled. "Just looking around," I said, hiding the phone behind my back. She stared at my hands, her eyes narrowed just for a second. Then she smiled in a way that didn't reach her eyes. "Dinner is ready. Don't take too long, sweetheart." I hadn't heard her call me sweetheart in a decade. That night I heard footsteps outside my bedroom door. Slow, careful. Like someone trying not to be caught. When I asked who it was, no one answered. The next morning, everything escalated. My older brother, Lucas, the one who practically lived at work, suddenly announced he took a week off. "We should spend time together," he said with an unnatural grin. "Family should stick close right now." He followed me everywhere, to the store, to the backyard, even to throw out the trash. If I stepped outside alone, he appeared moments later with a forced smile, checking my pockets, my backpack, my hands. I caught him late at night standing outside my door again, unmoving like he was listening. I tried to tell myself I was paranoid, that grief was messing with my head, that Dad was confused in that voicemail. But everything inside me told me that something in my house was wrong, terribly wrong. But the real breaking point came at 3 a.m. 3 nights later. I was awake, scrolling mindlessly on my phone because sleep had become impossible. That's when I saw headlights through my blinds. A car was parked across the street. A man stepped out, looked around anxiously, then hurried toward our house. I recognized him immediately, Dad's best friend, Mark. He hadn't shown up to the funeral. He had vanished the night Dad died. Yet here he was, knocking softly at our door, terrified. I rushed downstairs and opened the door just a crack. His face was pale, his hands were shaking. "Danny," he whispered urgently, "you need to leave this house." "Right now," my heart hammered. "What are you talking about?" He looked over his shoulder like he expected someone to come out of the darkness at any moment. "Your dad, he figured out something he wasn't supposed to. Something your family is connected to. He called me that night. He told me things I can't say out here, but I know one thing, he didn't die in an accident." My throat tightened. "What was he involved in?" Mark stepped closer, his voice barely audible. "Your family isn't who you think they are. You're in danger, Danny. If they know I came..." A light flicked on inside the house. Mark's eyes widened. He stepped back. And then behind me, my mom's voice, "Danny, who are you talking to?" Before I could turn, Mark darted back to his car and sped away like his life depended on it. My mom moved closer. Her face was calm, too calm. "Why were you at the door?" she asked. I lied, something about hearing a noise, something about getting water. She didn't question it. She didn't react. She just stared at the door. Then locked it twice. Everything changed after that night. The house felt heavier. My mom was constantly checking on me. Lucas became even more protective, not in a brotherly way, in a watching way, like he was waiting for a signal. And then I remembered something Dad told me once when I was a kid. A strange comment I had always assumed was a joke. "If anything ever happens to me," he said softly, "the truth is hidden under our feet." At 4 a.m. the following night, I snuck into the basement. The floorboards were worn and uneven, but one plank behind the furnace looked newer, slightly raised. I pried it open. Inside was a metal storage box, heavy, locked with a code Dad and I used for everything, my birthday. When it clicked open, the air felt colder. Inside were papers, receipts, maps, coded notes, printed emails, and a thick journal. On the first page, in Dad's handwriting, "If you're reading this, Danny, I failed to protect you." I felt tears blur my eyes. My hands shook as I flipped through the pages. But what froze me was a sheet of paper with a list of names, my mom's, my brother's, several others I didn't recognize. At the bottom was my name, circled. Beside it, 2 words, Phase 3. I didn't understand. I didn't want to understand. But I knew one thing for certain, my dad didn't trust them. I spent hours digging through the box. Every document hinted at something bigger, financial accounts, offshore transactions, property purchases under fake names. Dad had been investigating something involving people close to him, something involving my family. Halfway through reading the journal, I heard movement upstairs. Then the basement door opened slowly. Light spilled onto the stairs. "Danny," my mom called out, her voice deceptively soft. "Are you down there?" I quickly slid the box back into the floor and covered it, grabbing just the journal and shoving it under my shirt. "Yeah," I called back, trying to steady my voice. "Just looking for something." She walked down a few steps, her eyes scanned the room. "It's late," she said. "Come upstairs." She didn't sound worried, she sounded expectant, like she already knew what I had been doing. I went upstairs. Her eyes followed every movement I made. That night, I didn't sleep at all. I read Dad's journal under my blanket, flashlight shaking in my hand. Every page made my stomach twist tighter. He wrote about discovering strange money transfers linked to our family. Secret meetings. People he didn't recognize coming to the house when Mom thought he was asleep. Arguments behind closed doors. Luca's missing for long periods without explanation. The last entry was only hours before he died. "I think they know what I've found. I think tonight is the night something happens. If I don't make it, Danny, whatever your mother tells you, don't believe it. Whatever Lucas says, don't follow him. Whoever comes to the house tomorrow, don't trust them. You're the final piece. I don't know what Phase 3 means yet, but it involves you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." My heart broke reading those words, not just from fear, from the thought of my dad alone, terrified, trying desperately to save me. The next day, everything spiraled. Lucas insisted on driving me to school, even though I walk every day. Mom made special breakfast and wouldn't stop smiling. They both watched me eat every bite. They both avoided looking at each other. They kept whispering whenever they thought I wasn't listening. When I tried to leave the house, Lucas grabbed my arm a little too tightly. "We care about you," he said. "We just need to keep you safe." But safe from what? Or safe for what? That night I pretended to sleep. Around midnight I heard my door open. Someone stepped inside. I could hear their breathing, slow, measured. They stood next to my bed for a long time. Then the door closed again. The following evening, Mark returned. He didn't knock. He sent me one text. "Meet me behind the old shed. Come alone. They can't see you." I waited until the house was quiet, slipped out my window and ran. Mark looked worse than before, thinner, shaken. "I don't have much time," he said. "Your dad discovered something about a group your family is part of. It's not just illegal, it's dangerous. It goes back years. Your dad was trying to get you out of it." "Out of what?" I demanded. But before he could answer, there was a crack in the distance, a branch snapping. Mark's face drained of color. "They followed you," he whispered. "Run." But I didn't run, I froze, and from the darkness behind the shed, Lucas stepped out, not angry, not confused, just calm. "Danny," he said quietly, "come home." Mark grabbed my arm. "Don't." Lucas took a step closer. "You don't know what you're doing." In that moment, I realized something horrifying. Lucas knew what Dad discovered. Mom knew. They weren't confused. They weren't grieving. They were preparing. Whatever Dad uncovered, whatever Phase 3 was, it wasn't in the past. It was happening to me. Right now, I don't know how I got away that night. Everything turned into chaos. Mark shouted for me to run. Lucas moved toward us. Someone else appeared behind him, Mom. She looked at me with an expression I had never seen before, not love, not fear, recognition, as if something they had been waiting for had finally begun. I ran until my legs nearly gave out. I didn't stop until I reached the highway. I hid behind a gas station dumpster until sunrise. I am writing this now from a borrowed phone in a bus terminal 2 towns away. I bought a ticket under a fake name. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I can't go home. I still have Dad's journal. There's more in it, passwords, names, instructions, things I haven't even had the courage to read yet. But I will. Because if my dad died trying to protect me, I won't let his death be for nothing. And whatever phase 3 is, I need to know before they find me again, before they finish what they started that night, before they catch the last person my dad trusted, me. Thank you for being part of our community. Your likes, comments, and shares help us bring more unbelievable Reddit family stories every day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a shocking story.